The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of rmconair.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Man Mindset Show with your hosts, Bobby Glanton Smith and Steve Williams. The Man Mindset Show teaches men how to have more control of their life. Our purpose is to develop strong character and communication skills that will lead you through your own personal development and growth. The Man Mindset assists you in looking deeply within to see where you stand with leadership, success, relationships, marriage, fathering, and personal goals. This show isn't chicken soup for the soul. It's something your mom can teach you and your daddy won't. The call-in number is 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600.
1 2 testing 1 2. Are we up in here? Okay, we're a little off our game, but welcome back to the Man Mindset Show. And you're here this day. We're here today with Steve Williams. Hey, Steve, what's happening?
It was good, Bobby.
Steve,
how you doing, big dog?
We got some technical difficulties that we're going to get through very, very quickly. Like in right now. Yeah. Okay. Testing 1 2. Oh, yeah, we're good. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay, we up in here. Hey, Stevie, how you doing, man?
Hey, the manmindset.com.
We here to do what we do. This is a very, very special show for me because I get to sit next to a man I've known for over 20 years, and it's been an exciting ride. He's also featured in my book that dropped yesterday, Real Men Don't Play. You can get your copy at realmendon'tplay.com. And before we go any further, I want everybody to say hello to the face of boxing, Mr. Sam Watson.
Hello, everybody.
That's as much as he's going to say for now, but trust me, man, this cat right here, typically, I'm surprised he got any voice left, man, because he keeps 2 phones humming 24/7. Some of y'all, if you're watching the show, you've seen this man's face in the boxing ring for the last 10 or 12 years. And a lot of people, including the people at the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, all the major newspapers around the world have been asking the question that I'm about to ask him now. How did you become the face of boxing? How did that happen, Sam?
Well, we've been doing a lot of fights. We have a lot of fighters. We have about 55 fighters now.
55?
We got a lot of fighters. Being an advisor to some of the fighters, to most of the fighters that we do business with. We started a long time ago with the great Vernon Forrest. He was our first fighter, and he told me that he can beat Sugar Shane. At that time, Sugar Shane was the greatest little fighter around, and then Vernon kept asking me, can Al Heyman help him? And that's how it got started.
So, but actually before that, you had some experience with the fight game. Coming up as a kid, you kind of used your hands a little bit, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I boxed in the street in the ghettos, of South Central L.A. and Memphis, Tennessee. I boxed everywhere, but that was just for me and for street life.
Yeah.
But, we got, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, those are good friends of mine, too, and Muhammad Ali was a good friend of mine. I remember going back with Muhammad Ali and Marvin Gaye. I remember the good old days, sitting in the house with Muhammad Ali, with Marvin Gaye, just talking about boxing and singing and all that, long time ago.
Now, if I recall the story correctly, and some of these stories are more fully told in my book, Real Men Don't Play, the chapter featuring the face of boxing, Mr. Sam Watson, you actually walked Holyfield in the ring the night he defeated Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I went down there to get some tickets from Evander, and I saw he only had like 8 people with him. Mike Tyson had like 50 or 60 people with him. And I said, "You all right?" And Holyfield said, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm going to win this fight tonight." And we got to talking a little bit. He said, "Why don't you just hang around me for a little while? Let's just hang out." So, like I said, Mike had like 50 to 200 people with him, and I just didn't like it. I said, "Man, come on, I can get you some guys right quick to make you look strong." And Holyfield kept saying, "No, God, gonna take care of this one tonight." And he did it. I stayed with him the whole time. the whole time, and that was a very big fight. I couldn't believe what I saw. Everybody thought that Tyson was gonna knock him out because just at that time it was Tyson's time. And Holyfield wanted to fight him real bad, and he got what he wanted on the very first fight. That's before the ear biting fight. This is the first fight, and he was on him, and he did what he said he was gonna do. I couldn't believe it, but he did it. But I was with him all the way. It was only a few of us that believed that he can do it, and he done it.
You know, for those of you listening out there and you want to chime in and participate in the show, the number here is 323-965-1600. The title, The Face of Boxing, how did that get put on you, man?
I don't know. Some reporter in New York put it out there like that. But I mean, we do a lot of fights, and I love what I do. I love my job. I love working with all the young fighters and the old fighters, and I get a chance to work with, with so many different good fighters, great fighters, going to be great one day, and it's just the best thing I could ever done with my life.
So Vernon Forrest defeats Sugar Shane Mosley, beat him like he stole something. Rematch, same thing. How did that change just what started out as doing a favor for a friend into a business enterprise?
Vernon Forrest kept asking me to ask Al Heyman to help him. And I kept telling Al, and I kept saying, we're in the concert business, Sam. We don't need to do that. Before you know it, I think me and Vernon were in L.A. somewhere at a fancy restaurant, and we saw Patti LaBelle. And Patti LaBelle, I said, Patti, this is me and Al Heyman's new fighter. And Patti said to Vernon, if you with Al Heyman, you can't lose, son. Something like that. And then we walked out, and I told Al that we just talked to Patti and told him what happened. He said, that's cool, we'll do something for the kid. And we did it. And Al went and went through his contracts and got him straight. And then he promised him a big fight, and we got him a big fight, but then he had a headbutt, and he couldn't fight the big fight. So about 2 months later, we got a chance to see Sugar Shane, and in New York. And in New York that night, it was about 13,000 people in the building, and about 12,700 believed Sugar Shane was going to whoop Vernon Forrest. But we had been knowing that my mother, Al's mama, and all our team, Sylvia and everybody, had been, and we had Kelly Swanson with us. We had believed that we had our own beliefs that we knew that we could pull this fight off. And Vernon had told us he had beat Sugar Shane in the Olympics or in the Olympic trials or something a long time ago, and that was the biggest fight of my career because he did what he said he was going to do, and he won. So
what did it feel like coming out of that dressing room? Because it's a certain energy right before a big fight, man. What was you talking to him about before y'all walked into the ring and as you walked into the ring?
Well, Holyfield was one of the first ones. When I was just asking, man, are you ready for this? And he kept saying, man, I'm ready, man. I said, we got this. He said, we got this. And Holyfield, when he was finna fight Tyson, he kept saying, God gonna make it right. He kept telling me that. And then when in the dressing room, right before we was in the dressing room getting ready to walk out, there was some music, some gospel music playing, and everybody was real mellow, and it was exciting. It was very exciting. I mean, but then when Vernon walked in, I was really hyped up because I knew Vernon. I had been with Vernon every day and hanging out with Vernon all the time. And Vernon, I said, this is our chance to show the world, Vernon. And Vernon went out there and beat him. He beat Sugar Shane, and that's what started the whole thing with me, Sam Watson, being involved with the fight business for real.
So after you kind of got that cat under your belt, you started building relationships. You already had a lot of relationships with people. How did you form the relationships with the people in the sporting arena? Because you came out of the concert business, not came out of it, you're still in it, but how did you really just roll that over and say, okay, not only are we going to work with Vernon Forrest, we're going to kind of stretch out like Boosie's rubber band and see what we can do in this industry. How did that transpire?
We just, after Vernon, everybody, we were so happy. I was happy. And then after that, we just, it was other fighters out there that needed guidance, needed help, needed contract problems, had contract problems, and needed opportunities. And we just went from there. I think we went, Tonio Tarver was one. We just kept going. So many names, so many fighters. We got a Mexican fighter named Chris Arreola. We still have them. We had Lombrado, a Mexican. That was good. We first was all black, and then we went and got some Mexican fighters, and now we got all kind of fighters.
Now, I actually was watching an HBO fight one night, and it was from Germany, and it wasn't a black. You the only black person in the ring, man, and I was shocked.
We fought Kessler over there.
The guy that just fought a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Kessler fought our fighter Lombrado. He beat him over there for 12 rounds. But it was an opportunity. Sometimes it's just for the opportunity, for that chance to see if you can pull it off. And he got the opportunity to go over to Germany and to fight a big fight, and it was a super fight.
Mm-hmm. Now, the question is probably on a lot of people's minds after seeing for the last several years in every major fight that Floyd Mayweather has had, off of his right shoulder usually, there's Sam Watson. How did that relationship evolve?
Floyd's my guy. Floyd's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. He loves me and my sons, and he just, he's where I'm with him wherever. We go tours together. We do the concerts together. We hang out together. Floyd's one of my best friends in the world. We love him so much. He comes to all my celebrity basketball games every year. He flies his own self out here and makes it real nice. So Floyd's my guy, Floyd Mayweather. I remember when we first got him, he asked my son, who do you like? And Marcus said, I like Roy Jones. And he said, who you like, Brandon? And Brandon said, I like Mike Tyson. And at that time, both of them had lost. Floyd said, well, I never lost. And I never lost, and I'll show y'all why I don't never lose. And it's been 10 years, 12 years, and Floyd been whooping ever since.
So you just fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who had months before out in Ontario, California, defeated one of your other fighters, Andre Berto. When you guys took that fight, did you have any concerns about the fact that he had so soundly defeated your other fighter, Andre Berto, or were you as confident as you always were when he came in the ring?
Well, every time we go into that ring, me, myself, or my sons, we believe we're going to go get the win, the victory. We believe. We wouldn't even put the fighter in there to get beat down. We just know Berto is a great fighter. Berto, he's got a great fight coming up, and he's gonna show the world July 27th on Showtime. It's gonna be a big fight. So Berto will be back. He's just, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and Berto will be ready.
So you mentioned Showtime twice. Are you still working with?
Hey, Bobby, do we got any calls to take, man? I mean, what we doing here, big dog? We got any calls, man? I mean, we 45 in, man.
Excuse
Come on,
me?
man.
Excuse me?
Come on, man.
If the board was lit up, you'd need to relax till the board gets on. You got a question? You got?
I don't have any. I don't talk boxing, man. This is
okay.
I mean, we got to get to the point. We got to get to where we're going. We only got an hour, big dog.
Well, that's the point. This is the face of boxing in the room, and most of the people that I invited to listen to the show, the number is 323-965-1600. And we have one of the most important people in the world of business and entertainment in the room. And it's a rare opportunity to have someone of his status, who also is one of the great men that I happen to know, who happens to take care of his family and his friends. And I brought him in on this show because he's a reflection of what the man mindset is all about, as far as I'm concerned. So if there's callers out there that want to take the show in another direction, then that's what that number's for, 323-965-1600. But if there's a better example of the man mindset, I'd like for somebody to speak on that.
Well, I'd like to ask a question. What's your raising your children? What's your what is your philosophy on raising your kids? How did you? I see you raising children and everything. What is your philosophy on raising kids?
Well, I was married when I had my kids, so that was the good part about being married. Trying to work with my wife and work together and have the kids. I was young, poor. Got a good job at Motown Records. Turned rich one day. Motown Barry Gordy took care of me for a while, so it made it. I had a great life. My kids had a great life coming up. Got divorced like everybody, and kept working. So kids are fantastic. I took my grandson to a baseball game yesterday, so I love kids.
Wonderful.
Come on, give me some more, man.
No, go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
You done jacked the show.
No, I got it, Jack. Hey, come on, man.
I
understand the history of the box and everything.
No, you don't understand it. You don't have a clue about boxing.
Yeah, but I'm young school. But
okay,
again,
we do young things. We do all the concerts. We do Lil Wayne and T.I. coming up next month in July. We've been doing Frankie Beverly forever. We started Marvin Gaye doing his touring. So we do a lot of entertainment business. Go ahead. Not just boxing, brother.
Not just boxing?
Boxing, concerts, on top. We on top. And both of them.
Well, how did you get there? What was the groundbreaking? How did you get to where you get? And if somebody wanted to get in your shoes and follow what you're doing, where do they need to go? Where do they begin that to start the pathway where you got? Because apparently you're with big names, you're doing big things. How does someone start to get in that industry?
Well, listen to your mother and father, first of all. And sometimes, as you know, the father always runs away. Not always, but listen to your mama. Listen to your uncle. Listen to your grandmama. Talk to somebody instead of trying to do it yourself. Trying to smoke weed and drink all the time. And that's one thing that we don't do. And that's, and I'm proud to say that. It took me a long time to do it. And it took my sons a long time to do it. So, you got to listen to somebody, and the best thing to listen to was me. I like kids. I've been working with kids all my life. I worked at Raymond Avenue Elementary School. I don't know if you know what a ride was, the big ride we had. Not this last one. The last ride when Rodney King. That's my neighborhood. Have you ever heard of Rodney King? You ever heard? Okay, you heard of Reginald Denny and all that? What's his name? Denny? Mm-hmm. Anyway, the man who got hit upside the head, that's my block, that's my neighborhood. At that time, I was the coach of all them little kids. And when they smashed that man in his face, everybody came to me to see if I can fix it. And I did fix it. I went and got all those little guys. They all went to jail, first of all. They all went to jail for that. When they came out of jail, that black man you see on Channel 7 News in L.A., his name is Mark Brown.
He wouldn't know.
His daddy, it was Mr. Brown that worked at the elementary school with me, was the principal. And and Mark Brown promised me, he said, Sam, if you can get me an interview with one of them guys, because they was 4 known, real established. I mean, everybody was kids, but nowadays, it's a long time ago. But it was so real, and Mark Brown today is one of my best friends because of that. So as far as how do you get to do what I do, I went to school, but I didn't learn nothing in school. I went to high school. I went to school with Tookie Williams. You ever heard of Tookie Williams?
Yes.
With the Crips. I was right there at Washington High School in 1969. That's where I come from, Washington High School. Raymond Washington and the Crips and all them fools.
Would one need to be a boxer, have to box themselves would that be better for them to be in the ring, or would it be better to be out the ring?
No, you shouldn't want to be a boxer at all. You should want to teach your sons how to box, how to defend themselves, but boxing ain't no joke. If you're a boxer, you got to be in shape for real. You got to be for real about this game. You got to be an athlete. You got to go to the Olympics. You don't just get it from street boxing, street fighting. Street fighting ain't going to do nothing. Talk, and sock people in the back of the head when they ain't looking. But when you get that ring with a boxer, you better be in some great shape, and you better be prepared to go some rounds with somebody, because it ain't no joke out there. One day you feeling good, and next day you go out and have some sex. The next guy will come and whoop on you real bad. So boxing is not a joke. It's not like wrestling. It's not like the MMA and all that. Boxing is the number one. We love it. We love that sport. Come on.
Lots of conditioning.
A whole lot of conditioning. That's right. It's like being a doctor, or like being a lawyer, or like being a professional football player, basketball player. It takes a lot of work to do it.
Okay.
Come on. You got some good ones. It's getting good now. Come on.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get a path, because if someone's listening to this and they see where you're at, I'm sure they're going to want to figure out, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? What route do I need to take? Do I need to go to school? Is college involved in all this? Don't be a follower. You got to start being a leader. Like most people are what they are when they was young. To me, when you're young, if you was a little thief, you was a little thief. If you was young and you was bad, you was bad. And when you come up,
And when you come up in life, you listen to the right person, do the right things, you got good things that's supposed to happen to you. Do the wrong things, be the tough guy around the neighborhood. Where's that guy at now everywhere? Nowhere. Nowhere. Look at him now.
Would you say you were the tough guy in the neighborhood? Or were you
no way. I was cool. I was cool like I am now. I boxed every day. I had a car. When I was at Raymond Avenue Elementary School in 1969, I had a car. And in the back of the car, I had boxing gloves in the back of the car. The Crips and the Brims, not the Bloods. The Crips and the Bloods were mostly my friends, but I had to pull them gloves out to say, put the gloves on and see what you do with these gloves. And nobody really wants to fight a guy who box a guy who got some gloves in his car, even if I couldn't whoop him. They didn't want to see that, because if you make a mistake in the ghetto and get whooped on by somebody with some gloves, by somebody smaller than you, you really gonna look stupid. Now the tough guys, all them guys, they do their thing. Like I said, Tookie was taking money every day. I was with him every day in Washington, but he was my friend. He was doing what he was doing, but I wasn't taking nobody's money and never would and won't, you know. Come on.
So we're getting ready to take a short break. The number here is 323-965-1600. You're listening to The Man Mindset featuring Steve Williams. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Hi, I'm Bobby Glanton Smith, the author of Real Men Don't Play. Time changes everything except car tires, baby diapers, and the makeup and composition of real men. This book is dedicated to the legacy, the spirit, and the tradition of manhood. Some of these men are famous, some of these men are infamous. They have one thing in common: they live by a code. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. This book will allow you, as a reader, to meet and understand and appreciate the walk and the journey of some of these great men. Real Men Don't Play. Enjoy the ride. Okay, we're back on the air. The number here is 323-965-1600. Again, I'm honored to have in the studio a real man by my definition, because that's what he's been ever since the time that I first met him. You mentioned your children a minute ago, man. You have how many kids, Sam?
I got 3 sons.
3 sons. Now, over the years, your kids have followed in your path. How did that end up happening, man, that they ended up going down the same road professionally that you traveled?
Well, I just love, you know, you got to get that love in. You know, when you get that love to your kids, they come back and do what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we just enjoy each other.
What role do they play in the production team Watson, so to speak?
They can have it all. They're young. They can do anything they want to do. I'm old.
What are they bringing to the table?
Plenty of young, good, new people, good people, positive young kids around. They're unbelievable.
Who are some of the artists that you kind of assign them to deal with in the concert promotion business?
The young people. See, the young. Well, the way we do it is, I'm old. I deal with the old. They're young. They deal with the young.
Who are some of the artists that they work with?
They deal with Lil Wayne. They deal with they're gonna be dealing with T.I. on his next tour. They're gonna be doing 2 Chainz.
Who the hell is 2 Chainz?
The #1 little rapper out there, new rapper, hot.
Now, are y'all still affiliated with Chris Brown?
Yeah, we involved Chris Brown. We did his tour. We did all his tours. Chris Brown, Frank. Like I said, we did them all. Frankie Beverly, and all of them.
So. Man, we can't have. I can't see the screen, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Huh? I can't see the screen. Okay. But anyway, my point was, you have been in the business of entertainment for 30 years. Mm-hmm. What has changed the most in terms of the artists and the way you deal with them in 30 years?
Well, like I said, I worked for Motown a long time ago in the good old days. So, you know, it was phenomenal. It was great. It was working for Motown, working for Barry Gordy and the Gordy family was fantastic for me. I loved it.
What's changed in the business? Because now you're dealing with a whole new generation of kids.
Right now, a long time ago it was records. I was doing records and cassettes. Now there's CDs and all that kind of stuff. So that's what changed. The music I mean, the soulful music we used to have, and now it's rap. Now it's more rap, and we still got a few R&B with Beyonce and all them. But you know, there was no R&B, there was no rap when we was doing that Motown.
So y'all do Beyonce?
We do Beyonce. We do everybody. Maxwell. We do Frankie Beverly, OJ's, Joe Lover. I mean, whatever. We do them all.
What's the difference between dealing with a Beyonce and a Patti LaBelle? Or is there any difference?
No difference at all. They all looked up to Patti, and Patti let them all look up to her, and they all loved her. Patti, all them lady singers. We had Luther Vandross before he died. We did them all. Marvin Gaye. We did them all. We loved doing what we were doing.
Now, a lot of these cats like Chris Brown, we see them getting in a lot of trouble. Does that cause you problems, other than when you dealt with the cats from, say, 20 years ago?
No, not really. Chris Brown is his own man. He's doing his own thing. We only do his touring. We don't do his management. We just, when he tours, he goes out with us.
Okay, you got a young kid named Adrian Broner out of Cincinnati. Is he the next bright star in your boxing stable?
Yeah, he's got a big fight coming up against Paulie Maggiano in June 22nd in New York.
June 22nd?
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, it's going to be big, huge fight.
Wow. Now, how do you police, or do you police these cats, man, and keep them out of situations where they run into trouble with the hangers-on, the women, the drugs, all those things that come with that space?
We do our best to give them guidance and love, and when they come to L.A. and they come to town, we hang out with them, and when we out there with them, we hang out, we have fun, but you really can't control it. I mean, everybody going to do what they're going to do. The ones who do what they do, you can't stop them.
So what's up with you, man, in terms of dealing with being a brother my age and always around these young ladies that are very, very attractive and in your mix quite a bit? How have you avoided that trap, if you will, of getting seduced to the point where you lose your way?
I was married for 15, 20 years. Now I'm not. I'm divorced. I'm single. I'm happy. I don't be out there in the streets that much, you know. I go to Laker games and to fights, to my events, but I don't go that much. I stop every once in a while to a club every once in a while, you know, but not like I used to.
Okay, Mr. Dallas Steve Williams, what you got, brother? An empty chair. I'm not mad at him for doing whatever it is he feels like he needs to do, because here's what we're going to do with the rest of this show. The number here is 323-965-1600. And since it's just me and you, Sam, we lost a dear friend the other day that you introduced me to. And for those of you who are listening, are looking, this man here has walked with the giants in this city and around the world. And the brother that I'm mentioning right now, his name is Flynn Robinson. We're going to bury him tomorrow. Yeah. And for the basketball fans out there, Flynn Robinson played on one of the great Laker teams of all time. They went on to win the world championship. They won 33 games in a row. And he was a great friend of yours. Can you explain to me your relationship with the great Flynn Robinson?
Now, Flynn Robinson was a perfect guy that should have been on this show today, talking about the mindset, because he was a young man. Well, he died last week at 72. But in 1972, he played basketball with the greatest: Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the big old Oscar Robertson. He played with the best. And Flynn Robinson stood out there and he shined, and he scored points. And Chick Hearns from the Lakers loved him. I mean, the whole Laker organization loved some Flynn Robinson. And Flynn Robinson, they called him instant points when he was playing. He had a great career in basketball, playing with Chicago, and he finished with and he did play with the Lakers, and he had a great time, and that was a good man. And that would have been he just died, and we're going, like I said, bury him tomorrow night. But nothing like him. Flynn Robinson was unbelievable. Good guy.
Now, we'll roll the tape back a little bit. There's a comedian, there are a lot of comedians today, including my dear friend and somebody that you've worked with on Cotation, Corey Holcomb, reminds me of the great Robin Harris.
Man.
Can you explain your relationship with Robin Harris?
Man, that was my man. That was my, that was one of my best friends for real. As a matter of fact, his wife called me today. Exeter called me and said they're going to put him on, they want to put me and him on on Unsung. Unsung.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're going to do it.
It's about time, man. It's about time.
That'd be nice for him.
So, describe how your relationship with Robin started and what came out of that relationship for him in terms of where he elevated to.
Well, everybody kept telling me Robin was the funniest man in town at the raggedy little club called Blueberry Hill. It was little, it's tore down now, but Robin, I went over there and started hanging out with my friends over there, and Robin was a comedian there, brand new, fresh, and Robin was funny. Robin was the funniest then, and then when I got with him and started hanging out with him a little bit, we started becoming good friends, and he just got real, real hot. Everywhere he went, he looked at people and he laughed at people and he talked about the real stuff. That's what made him real funny. Every day, he'd see people on the bus stop, see people doing stuff every day, and he'd just take it to the show that night. And then when Eddie Murphy and all them people started coming to the comedy thing and looking at him, then that's they the ones that put him on.
That was the Comedy Act Theater here in Los Angeles, right?
He was the funniest by far in L.A. There wasn't nobody like Robin Harris. I mean, his son plays football right now. The son never met Robin. His son, the daddy died when his son was in the body of his mama. So when he came out, that's how long it's been, 22 years ago, whatever now, and he's plays football for Chapman College, and I go to see his game sometime.
So what did you contribute to Robin's career?
Just his best friendship. I mean, he wanted me to be like a manager, but I wasn't a manager. I was his best friend, and we just had so much fun every day. He went to Manuards High School, and I went to Washington. So when we got together, it was after high school anyway, so we got a chance to talk about all the good old days. He ran track. I didn't run no track, but he ran track for Manu. But we ended up being the best of friends all his life, to the end, to the very end.
So Magic Johnson is another person that, when he came to Los Angeles, that you developed a relationship with. What is it about you that people just are attracted to you?
Well, I found out when you meet a celebrity or a person with some money, the best thing is not to ask them for some money. Because if you do that, then they're going to run. Most of the time, they just, off the top, just run until you know them. If you know them, then they'll start liking you a little bit. But I never did ask none of them for nothing because I guess I was all right. I was poor, but I was all right. Magic did come to town in I was working for Motown when Magic came to town, though, so I wasn't poor. But when Magic Johnson came to town, Barry Gordy said, you got to meet this man named Irvin Johnson. I said, yeah, I met him last night because I was going out all the time then. So me and Magic became very good friends. We had a great time. We best friends right now today, still. He was the best basketball player ever. It wasn't no Michael Jordan. It was nobody but him and Larry Bird them days. And Magic was the man for sure.
Now, there was an article in the New York Times about a year ago, and they kept mentioning the fact that a lot of people confuse you with Al Heyman. A lot of people think your kids are Al Heyman's kids. And the way the story was constructed, they finally admitted there's a new sheriff in boxing. And it's the Al Heyman, Sam Watson team. First of all, how did you feel about that?
Nobody like Al Heyman. Al's the man. I mean, he did all the big tours, Budweiser Superfest tours, and all the big tours all his life. So he's the man for real. He's a personal friend of mine, and I'm just lucky enough to know him.
Just lucky enough to know him.
We just been the best friends ever. So you can work for people sometimes and you get fired, but he's my best friend, so I don't have to get worried about getting fired. He's a friend of mine. That's the key to the way I live my life.
Okay, so you said after we come back from this break, I want to get into how you guys met. So we're going to take a short break. The number here is 323-965-1600. We'll be right back.
Guys, does your woman have an explosive temper? Does she tell you what to do like you're her kid? Does she withhold sex or dangle it like a carrot on a stick? Do you feel like you have to apologize for everything you do? Are you the kind of guy who spends all of his money on drinks and dinners only to get thank you at the end of the night? If this is you and you're looking to get a better understanding of women, then allow us to help you. Your success is our mission. If you're interested in any of our coaching sessions with Bobby Glanton Smith or Steve Williams, please go to www.themanmindset.com/coaching. That's www.themanmindset.com/coaching. Isn't it time you get what you want for a change?
Okay, we're black. The number here is 323-965-1600. One thing I've learned in my life is you cannot change the core of human beings. And for those of you out there who have seen me do what I do for as long as I've done what I've done, then here's how I'm going to handle this situation. Real Men Don't Play is what I'm about. That's who I am. I wrote this book because I've been blessed to know some cats, like this man sitting to my immediate left. And the relationship that we have formed over 20 years, it stands the test of time. And there are people who will look at bits of this because hopefully we'll get to edit this to the point where some of the stuff that happens in this show that should never happen in a professional environment is not put out there. But in the event that it is, that's how life is, man. You run into them kind of roadblocks, man. Have you ever had a situation similar to this, Sam, where something came at you where you just didn't know that it was going to go down like that, man?
I try to put everything together so we're on the same page, and whoever's working with me. I remember, I sound like I'm bragging on myself, but I just thought about my first celebrity basketball game. Flynn Robinson had just stopped playing pro basketball, and I'd heard his name, and he had a basketball team. Marvin Gaye was a very good friend of mine, and he wanted to play basketball too. So I took Flynn Robinson and Marvin Gaye and made it the Sam Watson All-Stars, so that even one of them had to worry about when they don't come. I didn't care because I had the Jacksons and some other celebrities involved too. So I remember that real simple little thing. I could have made the Flynn Robinson, I could have made the Marvin Gaye All-Stars, but if he wouldn't have came one night, he didn't feel like coming, then it wouldn't have been the same thing. So I put myself on the line for it. I can get other celebrities, and that's how I usually talk to the people ahead of time, and we know what we're going to do, and we don't. Like I say, if somebody can't make it, it's no big deal. You know, you got kids and wives and all kind of problems.
Well, again, Sam, we've been friends for a long time. I've had the honor and the privilege of being in your presence, in the presence of people that other people want to be around, and I take our friendship very, very seriously. I invited you here today because people have constantly asked me, who is Sam Watson for real? And what makes him a special kind of man? And I'm going to ask you that question. Who are you, man, for real, in your heart of hearts, day in, day out? And what makes you the kind of man that I would want to feature in my book, Real Men Don't Play?
I came from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm 59 years old now. I was poor, but I was cool. I had a stepfather like everybody else. Father, real father and all that. Love my family in Memphis, Tennessee so much. So who am I? I'm just a good guy that just wants to be known as a good guy, as a friend that didn't trick you out of no money, didn't beg you for no money, didn't ask you for nothing, didn't do you wrong, got your back if you need me, gonna tell you what's right and what's wrong, what I feel is right and wrong. You know, I don't know everything, but I just got to live my life as lucky as I am. I'm blessed just to be, like I say, 59 last month. I'm happy.
So you wear your hair the way it is. A lot of people who have become, somewhat in the limelight, they go through a lot of physical changes. Why do you roll like that?
It's natural. I'm just a natural guy, and the hair, everything.
We have someone on the line that wants to join the conversation. Thanks for calling the Man Mindset Show, what's left of it. And I'd like to know who am I speaking to and where you're calling from.
Hey, how you doing, Bobby? This is Music Man 82.
Hey, Brother Matt, what's up?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. I was just calling in, chiming in on the show, man. I appreciate who you brought in today. and I was just calling in and let you know I was enjoying the show, and also I didn't know Brother Sam Watson that did all of that. I thought he was just in boxing. It was good to know that he was doing music tours and worked for Barry Gordy. I didn't even know all that. So I appreciate you bringing him on, and much respect to you, Brother Sam Watson.
Thank you.
Okay, the number here is 323-965-1600. Brother, I want to thank you personally for making that phone call, because I would imagine
problem.
There's a lot of people out there right now wondering what the hell is going on up here. And Sam just said something, because we're going to make this living room style. What was you going to say?
Have you ever seen the fights on TV?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. And I'm a big fan of Floyd. I think he's the greatest because he's undefeated.
We got a big fight this weekend too on Showtime. We got Lopez fighting Madonna, and we also have Laura fighting a big fight. We got two big fights on Showtime this Saturday night, right here in L.A.
Where y'all fighting at?
Home Depot.
Saturday night here in L.A. Lopez.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime. Now, why did y'all go to Showtime with all these fights lately?
We went to Showtime and HBO and ESPN. We went to all of them. We just take fights to Sportsnet and all of them, wherever they want them.
So, my next question to you, and we have another caller coming in. I think I'll go ahead. Hey, first of all, thanks a lot, Matt, for calling in, man. We appreciate all that you do for the Corey Holcomb 5150 show and what's left of this one, man. Much respect and appreciation to you. And Sam, as we get ready to deal with another caller here, this coming up fight, we'll talk about it as we take this caller here. Who are we talking to, and where are you calling from?
Calling from Las Vegas. It's Champ calling.
Okay.
Champ.
What's up? Yeah, how you guys doing?
It depends.
What's up? What's up, Sam?
How you doing, brother?
I see you guys talking about that boxing, man. What you think about that host Lopez fight coming up this weekend?
Lopez, it's gonna be a great fight for Lopez. He showed he can fight when he beat Victor Ortiz. He's ready. He's gonna be ready for this week. He got to do his boxing. And he's fighting a killer that like to knock people out. So it's gonna be a great fight.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know the big money fight is with Mayweather and Canelo, and I predict that Mayweather TKO Canelo in the later round, around the 9th or 10th round.
Really?
Yeah, because this kid, you talking about Mayweather, who's been in the game just about practically all his life, and you got a kid that came in there got 4 years underneath his belt, and then you got to look at the fight, his last fight with Trout. The boy ran out of gas, but Trout had some power. He would have been out of there,
Yeah.
So with Floyd, you can't mess around like that with Floyd. And people don't realize Floyd been sparring with guys 154 pounds and 160 pounds. You see, and he been touching them boys up. So this going to be a cakewalk for Floyd, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, brother, you said your name was Champ. What's your relationship to Sam?
That's my right hand, man. Sam is right hand. Well, I take care of Sam when he come to Vegas. Plus Sam put me in position. I train fighters and everything else as well,
Yeah.
And I used to train heavyweight champ Mike Weaver, Machine Gun Carter. He worked with the White Quawi and all. So, but Sam was, the main man, I've been on Sam since I put on laced up gloves. Right, Sam?
That's right.
He used to fight himself?
Yeah, he fought.
Hey, Brother Champ, man, we really appreciate you calling in, man. And check out the book, Real Men Don't Play. I got a wonderful chapter about this brother that you've known all these many years, man. We appreciate the phone call, man.
Thank you, brother. Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
All right, Sam. Okay, Sam.
All right, buddy.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Would you please tell us who you are and where you're calling from?
This is Nick Davis. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, well, we sure do appreciate you chiming in. Do you know this brother?
I do know a little about the brother. I do know a little. And I'm calling because I have a question, because I wanted to ask him his insight, or rather what he thinks about women boxing. You guys are talking like we're not out here listening, but we are.
Well, women boxing is interesting. Before Layla Ali, she never fought on HBO, and we were gonna put her on HBO one time toward the end of her career, and we never did make the fight. It wasn't our fault, but because we didn't represent her, but we just never had no lady fighters. I mean, I'm not against it. It's all right with me, but we just have never had one. We almost had Layla at the end, but we did never do it with Layla Ali. And
so there's no one to follow?
Yeah, there's a lot of people to follow if somebody else wants to do it. We're stuck on the thing we stuck on that wins for us. But I'm sure. Are you a boxer?
No, I'm not a professional boxer, but that's what I do for exercise.
Okay.
You know, you made an interesting comment that there's ladies out there listening. If there are, the number here is 323-965-1600. So what sparked you to make that phone call, sister?
Well, because I was just sitting here listening, and I listen to a lot of talk shows and about sports, and sports like boxing and drag racing and stuff. You know, women never get their just due. No one talks about them. So there are women that are listening because there are women that are doing these things as well. So it's a very interesting conversation because they also see that not only that they could be a boxer, you know, they could be great at other things.
Well, you know, this year in boxing with the Olympics, that was the best boxer was a lady boxer because the Olympic team didn't win nothing. But one of them ladies on the Olympic team did win. So, yeah, it's a possibility.
Hey,
well, see, I didn't know that. Learned a lot tonight.
Hey, look here. I really appreciate you being bold enough to call in, sister, and we appreciate that call so very much.
Well, thank you for the invite today.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have another caller on the line, and we're going to see who we're talking to and where they're calling from. This is What's Left of the Mindset Show. Can you give us some feedback?
Yes, sir. This is Jason Dunn calling from the south side of Chicago, baby.
Hey, man, that's my kind of town, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man. Hey, I did not... First of all, I didn't know who Brother Sam was, but I am really inspired by not just the stuff that he's doing, but the type of life that he's leading and has led up until this point. And you too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a big fan of the Corey Holcomb Show, and I support the whole camp, man. Because the way the synergy works, you know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of like adds on a certain thing. I don't know what happened earlier with the awkward moment, but we won't talk about that. But, man, I'm just really proud of what you brothers are doing. And, like, you walk upright, man, you know what I'm saying? And you speak an upright language. And that really needs to be heard, man, coming from an ex-United States Marine and really don't think too much about the government, but that's another story. I just want to say thank you all. Keep doing it. And 100, man, for real.
Well, look, while you're on the line, man, I got to honor the fact that you made that call, and thank you very much. And you're right about this brother to my left, man. There's very few people that are equal in accomplishment to him, and it means a lot to me that he not only decided to let me write about him in the book Real Men Don't Play. He came all the way from Encino, which is a long, long drive, man, to be with me today, man. And that speaks about the kind of man I'm fortunate to know and the kind of man that you done saw and recognized for who he is. So thank you so much for calling, brother, and keep getting down with us on the 5150 show, man.
All right, hey, man.
Okay,
I'm a fan for life, bro.
All right, appreciate you, man. We have another call. Oh, we don't? Oh, okay. The line just lit up. But we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back. For those of you who have just honored us with the ability to listen through this show tonight, we'll be right back.
Show done changed my life, man. I was that nice guy, but then I went out on the block. When I started listening to your show, I realized all I need to do is, know what it is to be a man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You get this natural high from it, you know. I mean, and you improve those, and you develop a belief system in yourself.
The Man Mindset Show is being brought to you by www.themanmindset.com. This site will teach you how to meet, date, and marry women without losing sight of who you are as a person. We offer free boot camps, videos, podcasts, dating and sex tips, live radio shows, and one-on-one coaching. Guys, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, but we will reinvent you. So get your balls out of her purse and your spine out the backyard. It's time to take the hill. TheManMindset.com. We're more than just a dating site for men. We're a lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Okay,
I'll call you back.
We're gonna take these last few minutes to do what's necessary. I wrote "Real Men Don't Play" for a reason. All right, and part of being a man is being able to admit when you've been played. Cause I've been played. All right, and the way I'm gonna recover from that is to admit I've been played. This brother here that's done backed all the way up away from the microphone came 60 miles through LA traffic, and people come to him. That says more about him than it does about me. And I'm glad to know a whole bunch of brothers like that. And I met a lot of these cats through this brother right here. And we're going to pick up the pieces and go back to identifying men for who they are and what they are, because one thing men do, they stand on who they are. They don't come at you one way and then go another. They are who they are, and they do what they do. I say that from the bottom of my heart because this has been one of the most amazing nights of my life. And the reason I'm still sitting here is because this man came 60 miles to be on a show when he could have been somewhere doing something with some people that a lot of the folks out here that listen to these types of shows wish they could move in those circles. So the next time you see a major fight and you see this brother right here, you'll know that he's just not that way in the ring. He's that way right over here on Pico Boulevard in the neighborhood, because he'll come here for his friends. He'll go all over the world with his friends. I've had a chance to get to know his mama treat me like she my mama. And so when we talk about real men stepping up and being men, they help you get through situations you weren't prepared to deal with. So I'm very fortunate to have a brother on my team, and I'm on his team. That's why I wear this shirt proudly, you know. And so folks can say what they want about wardrobe. I'm going to always wear something that means something personal to me. So, Sam, as we begin to wrap this show up, man, just give me your honest opinion of what I need to do, man, to keep getting my thing tighter.
Well, this is you got to keep her and you got to keep him.
No, they already here.
Okay, and then you just gotta. I'll get you somebody who will do all this. Is fun, and this is easy. This is not. You know, this is something that you can. Is it easy to do? I mean, this is it. This is perfect. I never sit here and done this with nobody. Mm-hmm. I went on a radio show one time. I didn't talk at all. Went on before, I didn't talk. But this right here was cool. And yes, you can hit a lot of people, a whole lot of people with the right celebrity guests coming here and get it going right quick. So yeah, this is a big. I learned something myself today. I didn't know, you know, that one person calling me, that one guy called me from where we called from. That's enough. That's all. That's enough for me. Mm-hmm. That's enough for me to say I was worth it. It was worth coming down here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And yes, I go out of town. I travel every day of the week, every night, but I come back to go to church on Sunday with my mama. So, and I don't care if you call me a chump. That's what I do. That's how I am. I went to London. I was in London on Saturday night and got back on church on Sunday morning. So I already know why I'm doing what I do, how to do it. If I can make it, I'm gonna make it, because you know I know you only live one time. I live every day and I have a great time every day too. Sorry, your friend hung up. I don't know what happened to him, but it's all good. You know, I'll see him around sometime. We'll talk one of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah.
One of these days. As you go forward in your life, Sam, what's the next thing that you want to devote yourself to outside of what you're doing right now?
Well, we done concerts, we done the fights, and in 2014 we'll be doing the movies.
Movies?
Guaranteed.
What type of movies?
Great movies, not sleazy movies, not, you know, great movies. Funny and some great movies, not no junk. We're gonna do them good. It's already set up. It's already being set up right now.
Now, I have written some articles, and I write a little bit about it in the chapter in my book, Real Men Don't Play. And if you are listening to this show, I would greatly appreciate you at least checking out the book, Real Men Don't Play. And there's a greater amount of depth in terms of what this man has accomplished in his life. When you originally met Al Heyman, how did you guys go from like different worlds to changing the course of the concert promotion business and boxing?
Rick James and Tina Marie was doing a big old tour. It was hot. They was doing the farm, and they was selling out all over the world. And I was doing a small show at the little raggedy place in the ghetto. There was a small place. He was making $500,000. I was making $8,000, $10,000 at 5 Torches somewhere. And everybody kept saying, Sam, you need to meet Al Heyman. And I didn't know that Al was saying he wanted to meet me too. So we got together, and we finally got together, and Big West hooked us up. Big West hooked us up, and that was history. We got together and we became friends. Like I said, it's friends, boy. When you got a friend, it's way better than anything else. And when I learned about it, it's not about money. It's about the power. The power is important, to have the power to do it. The money comes and goes, you spend it, you do this, you do that, but the power of what you're trying to do, and it works. Trust me, it works. Like I say, I learned a whole lot today just by being in this little room with 3 people. If we really had a lot of people listening, this would have been a fantastic thing.
There's more people listening than
it's easy, but it's easy to get a bunch of people listening easy.
Yeah.
I know. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a
Twitter.
Twitter, and I don't have a what's that thing everybody got? I don't have it. What's the thing when you want to catch up with somebody every day? You talk to them? No, not when you leave a message for somebody.
Voicemail?
I don't know the other one. You know the one everybody got? What's the one everybody got? Email. I don't have an email. And I still live, I'm old-fashioned, but I text a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy that, because I know you can hit people right quick.
Yeah.
I can go and say, hey, Mike Tyson, we here right now? And it'll, I can say, hey, a singer or whatever, New Edition, come on in to do this, or whoever. This stuff works.
Yeah.
It's how Steve Harvey got his thing going right here behind the radio.
Yeah.
A lot of comedians should do that instead of doing what they're doing. Like I applaud Corey Holcomb for doing it. And it could be bigger and better by all means. Any of them, all of them can be bigger from what I'm seeing right now. With a guy like him and a lady like her, and the way you doing your thing, this is big time. It don't take a whole bunch of, this is it. You gotta have it right though. But this can work for real, and I'm a believer now. See, now if you ask me something about this, Bobby, I say, oh yeah, that can work.
Okay.
I got a little guy from China, got $100 million. Tell him come on and do something like this here for real. Because if he see something if he walked through the door and saw this, I heard me talking, because he would love to talk to me every day. He just he met me from the fight game, and he just got it all. Sam, come on. He said he come out here and stay 6 months a year in Beverly Hills at one of them hotels, because he can't stay the whole year, but he only for his visa. He's a good little guy to meet, to do this kind of stuff with, small stuff to him. So yeah, this can definitely work if you got the right topic. And you got the right topic.
Well, I got the right man sitting next to me, because, again, for those that are listening and decided to just listen because it did get kind of crazy, and you know who this man is, let us know that you appreciated that we had the great Sam Watson, the face of boxing, here today at RMC On Air, because for a historical point and note, him and Al Heyman produced more concerts in the last 30 years than anybody black or white. Is that right or wrong?
That's right, and fights too.
Now y'all just done got into the fight
we
thing.
We just been having a great time, man, living a great life and making it work. And it's fun doing it. Taking care of people.
I want to go on record as saying, with the success that Heyman Productions had, it's equally successful, because Al Heyman is a genius, Harvard graduate. He brings all the business sense. This man is a genius dealing with the people.
Streets.
That you got to
Street
deal
life. It's all good.
And Sam, I just want to thank you, man, for coming on the show with me tonight, man.
Well, Bobby, I'll be back. But next time I come back, we're going to come back with somebody that can make everybody listen to this show, to your show. It'll be your show, though. It should be your show.
Yeah, it's going to be my show, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are going to once again thank you for listening. And I want to thank my guest, Sam Watson, for coming out. And when you get a chance, go to www.realmendon'tplay.com and get a piece of my book. It's also available on iTunes and Amazon. And thank you for listening. And thank you, Sam, for being a part of what has been a rewarding evening, man, because we hadn't had a chance to chop it like this in front of some folks. And I appreciate you stepping up and being with me tonight, man. We out of here until you see us again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bobby Glanton Smith, the author of Real Men Don't Play. Time changes everything except car tires, baby diapers, and the makeup and composition of real men. This book is dedicated to the legacy, the spirit, and the tradition of manhood. Some of these men are famous, some of these men are infamous. They have one thing in common: they live by a code. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. This book will allow you, as a reader, to to meet and understand and appreciate the walk and the journey of some of these great men. Real men don't play. Enjoy the ride.